I'm talking this may be a 5-star read for me. I don't know why. Why am I only 40 pages in and already like obsessed with this? Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you guys are new. This is future me popping in to give a proper little intro and just say hi because I was just disorganized and completely forgot. But for the next 5 days, we are going to be letting a random spinning number wheel choose how many hours I read for every single day. We have a range of options going from 30 minutes to 4 hours as the max, and each day is going to be something different. And whenever that set day is, I'm going to have to set a timer and try and read for that strict amount of time. Hopefully we get through a lot of books in this video. I have some that I am so excited to read. Without me rambling on anymore, we're going to go and pick our first read for the video. Obviously new vlog, so I don't have any like current reads at the moment. I just finished my most recent one and I should have done this earlier in the day, but to be fair, I haven't actually had a chance to read yet. It is now 12:30, so it's not that late. I definitely have easily amount of enough time to read. And we're gonna pick our first amount of time to read for today. I have never done this. I have never ever done this, and usually like I have no idea how much I read in a day. I could read anywhere from 5 minutes to 5 hours. I really don't know. I never keep track. I am also someone whose brain is really busy, so I'll sit down and read and then I'll like get up and do something, and then I'll sit down and read, and then I might sit down for like an hour, but then I'll get up and do something for it. Like it's just non-stop. My brain is non-stop. So this will probably be a challenge in itself to get me to like stop and actually put a timer on and read. These are my rules for this video. Basically, I have to try and complete the set time every single day. I do not have to do it in one sitting. I can break it up during the day, obviously. I can read whatever I want, so that'll probably help. If I don't reach my like target time within the day, then it's not going to lap over to the next day. I'm just going to give myself like a 1-star review. Like that was a bad effort on my part. But like genuinely, I think it would just cause more havoc if it lapped over to the next day and I got like 4 hours and then it turned out being like 7 hours. Like I can't realistically read for 7 hours a day. I have shit to do, unfortunately. So as much as I would love to, that's not realistic, and we're being realistic here. We don't have to like challenge ourselves to the extreme. Let's pick our first number. Now today I am relatively free. However, uni has started again. It is a Saturday today, so I don't have uni today, but I am studying a bit. I've also got a lot of editing and a bit of work to do, so I've got stuff to do today, but I am relatively free and I have all night that I should be able to read. As for the next week, we'll be getting quite busy, so this will be definitely interesting. It'll definitely be pushing it. Anyway, let's, without me talking anymore, pick our first amount of time today. I'm nervous. What is it? It's gonna be 2 hours, isn't it? Yeah. 2 hours. I hope you can see that. That's not too bad. That's definitely doable. That's actually, no, that's easy. That's definitely doable, especially like because I read tonight. I think I'm gonna have 2 books for this option, and you'll see why. Very unlike me, by the way. I don't usually do 2 books. But the first one is Blue Sisters by Coco Malors. This is actually my book club pick for the month, so I do want to try and read it. The reason I'm going to have, oh, it's only 330 pages. Was that right? Yeah, so not too big. I feel like I can read this. The reason I'm gonna pick another book is this might be not one that I want to read at bed and in night. I do have to read this by Wednesday though. Yeah, I'm cutting it short for myself. I've had all month, by the way. But yeah, so that one is definitely one that I want to pick up. This is also on my TBR, knocking 2 birds with 1 stone or whatever the saying goes. Yeah, the reason I want to pick up another book though is I don't know, I am not great with literary fiction. I am still trying to get into the genre more. So if I am just not feeling it, I also have The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy on my Kindle. The reason there is no cover is because it is an ARC copy. This actually, it's like getting traditionally published. I think it comes out in June, but I was really kindly gifted an ARC copy, like an E1 on my Kindle. So I'm really excited about this one. I have read about 3 pages last night when I was falling asleep, not very far in. Yeah, I'm very intrigued about this one. I don't know what I'm going to think of it. I've heard so many different reviews. Kind of nervous. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, hopefully by the end of today, we will have read for 2 hours on whatever books. Hopefully that's around like 150 to 200 pages. I usually read about 100 pages an hour if I'm in the right headspace. Let's try and read 2 hours today. Later in the afternoon. It is now 4:30 and I have just passed 1 hour of reading, so we're halfway through. I kind of read for like 15 minutes and then 45 minutes just then. I have read 90 pages of Blue Sisters by Coco Malors. I actually thought it was going to take me a lot longer to read this. Like, as I said, my average is usually 100 pages an hour if I'm fully focused, and I kind of expected me to be reading like 60 or 70 an hour in this one because like I wanted to try and like read it, I don't know, really like comprehend it, really soak it in. But it's actually extremely easy to read. It is actually so easy to just get into and get lost in, and I'm really surprised at how much I'm enjoying it so far. I feel like I went in with quite low expectations for this one, or just, I don't know, I didn't really have a lot of expectations in general for this, and I'm actually enjoying it so much more than I thought I was going to. Kind of expected it to be a little bit more difficult to read, or at least me have to pay attention more, but it is surprisingly addictive. It's giving Olivia Blake. It's lyrical, it's beautifully written, yet it is easy to read. And that is a very fine balance, and I think that's an incredible thing when authors do that. Like, that's a very unique ability. So yes, I'm 90 pages in. I'm actually halfway through a chapter. Let me know if I'm not the only one who just stops halfway through chapters because they can't be bothered to finish the chapter. It's a terrible habit. Anyway, if you don't know what Blue Sisters is about, we're following 3 of 4 sisters. They all grew up very different. They all have very different, unique, refreshing personalities, which is really fun because I kind of think there's someone to relate to, like, for everyone. So we have Avery, Bonnie, Lucky, and then Nikki unfortunately passed away. We don't know why, a year ago. And the book starts exactly 1 year after her passing. So we've hit like that anniversary of her passing, I guess. So we are dealing a lot with grief, and is kind of forcing these sisters to come back together after just not cooperating with each other, not talking to each other very much, not seeing eye to eye like sisters do for a long time. So it's dealing with quite sensitive topics, so I would look up trigger warnings before going in, but at the moment I'm really, really liking it. I'm finding it super, super interesting. I'm really enjoying our characters. I'm loving the character analysis we're getting. I feel like I'm definitely going to get quite attached to this book, and I just didn't expect that. I really didn't expect that from a mile away. I am probably just going to read this for the next hour of our reading, unless I for some reason can't get read until bed, and then I'll probably read on my Kindle, so it's a little bit easier. But I think I'll try and just prioritize this. I would love to be able to finish this in like a few days. Good start so far. Very good start. As you saw last night, we managed to finish our 2 hours of reading, which I feel like was fine. Like, it wasn't hard or anything like that. It's a weekend. 2 hours is probably my normal amount I read in a day. For a page update, we are up to page 178. Blue Sisters, I'm really, really enjoying it. It's definitely quite an emotional read, but for some reason, I'm just like connecting to it so quickly. Like, I don't know what, I can't even describe what it is about it, but I'm just so instantly intrigued in the story, so instantly connected to the characters, but I am loving it so much more than I thought I was going to. I don't even know how to say it. I don't know. Really good so far. Hopefully we might even be able to finish it today because we're about halfway through, maybe a little bit over. It's not a very long book, so I feel like we might even be able to finish it today. We'll see how we go. But I thought now was a good time to pick the amount of hours I'm going to read today. It's about 9:30 in the morning. I've just gotten up, gotten ready, done my morning Pilates. So I figured now is probably a good time. Now, did I close the tab? I feel like today is a good day. It's a Sunday, so I feel like it's a good day for me to get a long time to read if I can. Let's spin. Today would be the best day to get the 4 hours, but we'll see what happens. 3 hours is gonna, yeah. 3 hours of reading. I don't even know if you can see that, but okay, that's fine. Got stuff to do today, but nothing too major, so I feel like that'll be fine. Hopefully we can finish that. I'd say we'll be able to today, and then hopefully we can read a little bit more of The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy. I've literally hardly even started this, so hopefully we can get more into this. There are some other really exciting books I want to read in this vlog as well. It's definitely forcing me to read every day, which is a good thing. I'm actually very excited. I didn't read over 2 hours last night. I just kind of hit the 2 hour mark and then stopped reading. But yeah, I doubt I'll read over 3 hours today, but we'll see. We'll see how I go. Okay, it's a lot later in the afternoon. Turns out I had a lot more studying to do than I realized. So it's actually 4:40, but I have made a start. I have almost done an hour of reading today. We're at 2 hours and 9 minutes to go. That's the start. It does mean I'll have to do a lot of reading tonight, but that's fine. For a book update, I am at chapter 11, page 263 on Blue Sisters. Really, really liking it. Like, really liking it. Like, I'm talking this may be a 5-star read for me. I don't know why. It's not like I see myself in a particular character or anything like that, but I feel like I have so much empathy for them, and I feel like I'm really liking seeing the whole sister dynamic. It's really interesting to see how like different personality types, and we really do have a wide range of personality types, deal with grief in a different way, and just seeing sister relationships and how they can so instantly like just fluctuate over time. My camera battery's about to die, but yeah, I just wanted to give you a tiny little update. I'm gonna keep reading though, and we can see if we can finish this tonight. I'm sure we'll be able to. I'll probably take Maisie for a walk, have some dinner, have a shower, and then we'll just try and read as much as we can. Try and get another 2 hours of reading in before I go to sleep tonight. I just finished Blue Sisters by Coco Malors and the timer is at 57 minutes left. I'm gonna pause it. So I have to say I did muck up with my timer. I accidentally cancelled it from my phone, but it was luckily just as I had recorded the clip before, so I could go back and see what time I was. So I just redid it and we were just at like kind of just 2 hours left, so an hour left still. It is 8:30 at night, which is okay. Like, I am an early bird. I do go to sleep early, but usually 9-10, so I have to read for another hour. That means I can read till 9:30. It'll be fine. If I don't make it, well then I suck. But yeah, okay, back to Blue Sisters. I just finished this. I really loved it, and if I'm gonna be honest, I can't even particularly describe why. I can't say like, oh, there was this that made me love it so much. I think I just instantly connected with the characters, felt so drawn to them, and I just felt so bad for them. Like, I felt like I was going through their trials with them. The way Coco Malors writes is so unique and refreshing and beautiful. Like, it's just beautiful, but addictive. I was so addicted to this story. It almost gives a little life, but in so much shorter, so much easier to read. Quite less depressing, but I would look up trigger warnings before going into this because there are some very sensitive topics that are touched on this. I probably should have looked up trigger warnings just in case, but yeah, there are just some very sensitive topics talked about. Very prevalent ones, but very sensitive. Yeah, this just felt like a bit of an emotional roller coaster, honestly. I'm so surprised. This was only like 330 pages and I got so connected to the characters so quickly. I'm so surprised. I also have read this book in like 2 days. Like, that's crazy for a book that was so outside my comfort zone and that I was so scared to pick up, and now I've just read it like so quickly. I didn't expect that. I really didn't expect that. I have no idea what I'm gonna rate this, if I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea. I definitely think I want to sit on it because it is night now, so I definitely want to sit on it for maybe a day or two. As I said, we've got an hour on the timer left, so I think I'm gonna read The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy on my Kindle tonight. That'll be a nice, like, kind of easy brain break kind of read, and yeah, then we'll just see where we go from there. I do have another book that I really want to read afterwards. I'm just gonna say what it is. It's probably in the thumbnail if I read it. And that's The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I got an arc of it and it's been sitting on my shelf for about a week now, and I've just been wanting to pick it up so bad, but I did want to get this one especially out of the way because it was a book club. All right, let's keep reading because we've still got quite a bit to read tonight. Hopefully I make it. I probably won't update you more tonight. I will update you very first thing in the morning. Guys, I promise I tried as hard as I could, but last night I failed. I failed my reading time and I'm so mad at myself. I just didn't do time management well. I don't do time management well in general. Yesterday, I just had so much more on my plate than I realized, and time got away from me, and then it was 8 o'clock and I still had 2 hours left. I think I had half an hour left before I ultimately just like fell asleep and could not keep my eyes open anymore. So it did mean that we started The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy, and I think I'm about 10% through. I will say this is an ARC version, so the actual traditionally published version, sorry if you can hear the beautiful birds outside, the actual traditionally published version comes out in June of this year, so this is an e-ARC version, and sometimes the formatting is a bit weird, and that was the case for the first, I'd say, like 3 chapters. It was all over the place and it made it really hard to read because like basically the grammar was just all wrong and it made it really hard for you to read. But now it is kind of a bit better, and so I was kind of finally falling into a flow, but then I just got so tired I had to fall asleep. But you know, we did 2.5 hours yesterday, so we can't be too harsh on ourselves, and it's like 8 a.m. at the moment. I do have quite a bit of uni work to do today. Mondays are usually my uni day where I just like kind of dedicate as much time as possible. But in saying that, if I get like 3 to 4 hours today, I am going to try and get a good amount done in the morning. I'm gonna try and just put aside some time and get it done. So let's pick our time for today. 45 minutes. Okay, I will hopefully read over this today. I will hopefully read more than 45 minutes today. But yeah, for now, that is our reading time. That is definitely doable. I am so glad I got that because today is a busy day work-wise. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that we got 45 minutes. We can do that. That's easy. We've got this. We've got this. I feel like at some point this week we are going to get 4 hours and I'm just dreading that day. Yeah, anyway, we'll go with the flow for now. About 2 o'clock now, and we literally have 3 minutes left on our timer. So obviously we're gonna like reach it today. That wasn't really a concern because I kind of got more done than I realized I could today. I was thinking I might try and catch up what I missed yesterday. So I might try and do another half an hour at least, and then we can kind of like even it out a little bit. I'm still so disappointed in myself, by the way. Didn't think I would actually fail. Anyway, so yeah, we'll finish this 3 minutes together. I'm about 18% through. This doesn't have page numbers. Like, yes, I'm 18% through. It just has the lock, whatever that is. I don't know what that means, but yeah, it doesn't have page numbers again because it's an e-arc. So I'm just going off percentages. So far, kind of like, it's definitely a little bit confusing. There is so much more world building than I thought there was going to be. If you didn't know, the Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy is actually based off a Hermione and Draco fan fiction, which I've always been so hesitant towards because the Harry Potter series is like everything to me, and it is my childhood series. It was just those characters were everything to me in my childhood. Read Marauders fan fiction, and I loved that when I was a teenager, but I don't really read like Hermione Draco fanfiction because I don't like creating different characters from my comfort characters, if that makes sense. But obviously in this book, because it's been traditionally published, we've changed the names, we've changed a few like elements in the book, so it kind of feels like a refreshing story. To be honest, I'm thinking the characters have been changed a little bit because I'm not seeing Hermione and I'm not seeing Draco in this. Also, I kind of find it hilarious that in the movies and in the books, Draco is such a terrible character. Like, no, that's not true. I love him. Don't get me wrong, I love him, but I feel like he's been romanticized so much over time, which I find hilarious because he's actually like, yeah, he's all snarky and witty and all that, but also he's kind of a wimp in the books and the movies and like in the actual Harry Potter franchise. Like his family is just kind of, they're just wimps. They're cowards. They're not going to stick around. They're going to do whatever is going to let them live, basically. But I find it hilarious how romanticized he has become. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Draco Malfoy. I love him. It's just kind of hilarious when you read the books again because you're like, oh, you're like hardly in this. Don't we always just grab to the tiny little things about movies and franchises and just work off them, really? But also there is so much more world building and like detail to this world than I expected, which is really fun. A little bit confusing, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm definitely confused with a lot of the terminology, but just a lot more than I was expecting from this world. So yeah, anyway, let's finish our 3 minutes together. We did it. We read for a total of 45 minutes. Wow, congratulations, Freya. Such a good effort. Not that good. Anyway, we're gonna read a little bit more. I do have a little bit to do now. I've got to do some filming and stuff and some editing, but I will be reading a lot more tonight because I actually can't go a night without reading. Like, I haven't since I was maybe 10. Maybe when I read the first Harry Potter. It's a thing. Now I just can't fall asleep without reading. So I inevitably will be reading tonight. I think we'll just continue with this. I actually am really liking the humor in this. It's a very funny book, and I don't know why I didn't expect that because I feel like the title almost gives that, but it's actually a really funny book. I feel like it's going to be a really easy book to read now that I'm starting to get my head around the whole world building of everything. I feel like I've got a good handle on that, and so now I can actually like enjoy the characters a little bit more, enjoy the banter, everything like that. I'll give you a little bit more insight into the plot once I understand a little bit more. I'm gonna go do some stuff now and then we'll keep reading later tonight and I'll update you. It's the next morning and I did manage to read, I'd say, for another at least half an hour last night. I think I got another like 10% through, so I think we're at about 30 something percent. Finding it very, very funny. Some of the humor is a little bit crude. It's not my favorite, but like it is funny. I'm not gonna lie, I'm having a good time. I'm actually finding myself like laughing out loud. It's just like a really fun dynamic. That is, I'm talking about the Irresistible Urge to Fall for My Enemy. I haven't said that yet. I'm having an off day today, let's be honest. I actually read like for like 10 minutes this morning, but we won't bother counting that. Let's pick. I think this is like our second last day of doing this. We'll see. Oh my God. Oh my God. 4 hours. 4 hours of reading today. Okay, now look, I'm home alone tonight. My partner's got like soccer training and work and all that kind of stuff. So I'm home alone tonight. So that means I can, in theory, just sit down and binge read. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We'll try and make it work. Try and get all my study out of the way, and then we can just dedicate the afternoon to reading. That means we might be able to finish the Irresistible Urge to Fall for My Enemy, because I think it says I have about 3.5 hours left on my Kindle. Then we can go into this book, The Knight and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. That makes me excited. I'm really excited to start this one. So hopefully we can start that as today as well. Wish me luck. I'll talk to you when we've started the timer. I was actually strategic today and decided to start the timer earlier. So whilst it's like 4 o'clock now, it only just hit it. We've already read for an hour and a half. So I feel like that's a pretty good dent so far. So it means we have 2.5 hours to go. I really think I'm going to be staying up very late and challenge. Like, this is going to be a challenge for me to read. I love reading. Like, I love reading for 4 hours. But sometimes on busy days, it's like a little bit, it's a bit intense. If I'm at the beach, I can read all day. I can read for 12 hours if you want me to. If I have nothing to do and it's raining outside, I can read for 12 hours. If I have stuff to do, it makes it a little bit harder. I find it harder knowing that I have to read for that amount of time, and then sitting down and reading for that time I find hard. I am, I think about 60% through The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemies. As I've got about 2.5 hours left. I think I had 3 hours last time I spoke to you, so I think my reading speed's gone down a bit. But anyway, I don't know what I'm thinking though. I was really having fun with it. It's quite crude humor, I would say, in it, but just not my kind of humor, if that makes sense. Some of it is. Some of it's really, really funny, but some of it just isn't really my humor, and I just kind of go, instead of being like laughing. But then other times I'm like actually laughing out loud. So I don't really know. I feel like this is gonna be one of those maybe books. Like, you know, when you'd be like yes, no, maybe to recommendations, I feel like this is gonna be a maybe. I just don't think I'm connecting to the characters as much, but it's definitely like a romance with fantastical elements. I don't even think I've told you what the story's about. Very, very small little recap. And I am not gonna be pronouncing their names because I am terrible at pronouncing like basic names. I would not be able to pronounce these names. Our male protagonist is an assassin for hire. So if you hire him, he'll go and whoever you need. He is a very like witty, kind of charming guy though. And then our female protagonist, she is, from what I can gather, like a healer, and she's working to try and find a cure for this disease that's going around called pox. And our male main protagonist has actually caught it, and he's been told that there's basically no cure for him, that he's just got to accept that he is going to pass soon and there's nothing he can do about it. However, our female protagonist is like this really renowned healer, and if anyone can fix it, it's going to be her. So he goes to her and he's like, I want you to fix it. And she's like, well, I can't. Like, you're basically on your deathbed. He's like, okay, I'll donate to your foundation if you fix it. I'll donate like something like $20 million or something like that. He doesn't have that, but he said he would. It's just like, okay, if you're donating that much, I'll try fix you. Probably not gonna happen, but I can try. Basically, it's kind of this like forced proximity situation. It's kind of confusing me. I feel like if I had the physical copy, I would be a lot, like I would understand it a lot easier, because there is so much like character stuff at the beginning. There is like there's this whole kind of dialogue guide at the beginning. Like there's how you pronounce names, there's different terminologies for the different things. And I am terrible at flipping back and forth on my Kindle. It's just too much for me. So I would probably be a lot better if I had the physical copy, and when the physical copy comes out, that'll be great for everyone. That's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment. I don't really know what else to think. If I get too bored of this soon, I won't DNF it, but I might put it aside just for a little bit and start The Night and the Moth. Yeah, we'll see how I go. We'll see what I'm interested in, what I'm not interested in. But yeah, for now, that is my update. 2.5 hours to go. Let's see if we can do this tonight. Stop. Why am I only 40 pages in and already like obsessed with this? The banter is so good. Are you serious? I am just loving the dynamic between our characters. Like, it's so instantaneous and it's so strong, and the chemistry is so strong. I have missed this. I have missed you, Rachel Gillick. You write like no one else. We have finally hit the just under 1 hour mark. I'll pause it now. We are at 56 minutes left. The time is now 10 to 8, and I have just been reading Night and the Moth this entire time. I am up to page 80 on The Night and the Moth, so I've made a little bit of a dent. I feel like I know well enough now to give you like a little summary. We are set in the world of divination, which I am finding fascinating. Like, why does Rachel Gillick always pick, like, the One Dark Window duology or the Shepherd King duology is about tarot cards. This one is about divination, and I'm like, so divination is like the study of dreams and everything like that. Also, something that I'm finding really funny, our main protagonist's name is Sybil, and in Harry Potter, the Professor Trelawney, her first name is Sybil. I know that that's probably a complete coincidence, but like, Professor Trelawney teaches divination. And in our book, in the Sybil, she is a diviner. I think that's how you pronounce it, or how you would say it. A diviner is someone who can almost tell the future of people. So basically, somebody can give her a bit of their blood and she will go into like a trance into a dream. With that dream, there will be signs of whether their future is going to be happy or whether they can expect like bad things from their future. So like, it's so unique. It's so interesting, and it's such a refreshingly new world that I'm just absolutely loving and eating up. We also have Rory, who is a knight, and he has traveled here with the king, who wanted to see what his future holds and therefore needed the help of like divination. Also, our diviners aren't really meant to have an identity. Basically, they have to serve 10 years in this cathedral working as a diviner, and then they are free to do whatever they want. They can leave. However, whilst they're in this cathedral working as diviners, they are not really allowed to have an identity. So our protagonist is number 6, and there is 1 through 6 girls. Anyway, I'm just loving this whole situation. I am also very happy that we have hit the 1 hour mark, so hopefully I will finish this tonight. I think I'm gonna try and read. If I read now, that means I'll finish at probably 9 o'clock. We'll see how we go. I don't know if I can read for an hour straight because I've been literally reading for almost an hour straight now. And I think I'll just continue The Night of the Moth for now. I might read in bed later, The Irresistible Urge to Fall for My Enemy, but for now we're sticking with this because I am obsessed, and I am so excited because I haven't been this into a fantasy book so quickly in a while. Like, it's been a while, and I needed it. After finishing this Prison Healer trilogy, I needed this. You seeing this? I did it. I did 4 hours. I am so proud that I completed that today. I'll talk to you in the morning. As you saw last night, I successfully completed 4 hours. Why I couldn't complete 3 hours, but I could easily do, well, not easily, but I could do 4 is beyond me. But anyway, we are pretty much just under the middle of The Night and the Moth. And let me just tell you, I am obsessed. We're at page 160, by the way. Literally obsessed, literally completely obsessed. This is taking over my entire personality. I am so excited for you all to read this. I just feel like Rachel Gillick. I said it last night, I'll say it again. She has such a unique way of writing. I'm also aware that I'm in the same outfit I wore yesterday, but we're going to ignore that. It is 37 degrees. I don't have much option for other than just like a dress. This is the last day of doing this. I am determined to finish at least one of our reads. I feel like I can easily finish The Irresistible Urge to Fall for My Enemy. I've got to go into the city and stuff today, so I figure I can just bring my Kindle along with me and read on the train. And I would love to finish this tonight if possible. We'll see how we go. If I don't finish this tonight and for some reason finish it tomorrow, I'll just let you know. I'll just let you know because like, oh my God, I'm just so excited for you guys to read this, and I'm so thankful that I got to read this because I am actually obsessed. It's kind of a bad idea for me starting this because it doesn't make me want to go back to Irresistible Urge for My Enemy, but when I'm on the train, at least I have no other choice. This is wonderful. I am so excited. Anyway, I'm gonna grab my phone and let's pick our final reading time for the day. All right, pulling up the timer. Let's get our last, oh, I thought it glitched for a second. Let's get our last time for the day. Oh my God, is it gonna be 30 minutes? Please, 30 minutes. We finally got like the shortest, oh wait, did I get that before? No, I got 45 minutes the other day, but the 30 minutes, that's wonderful. That's so great. I can do this. I can read that on the train. That's as long as my train trip. We can easily do that. I don't know if that'll make me finish another book, but hopefully I'll just read over that so I can finish this book because I really want to just finish another book for you guys and I really want to tick it off my TBR. Yeah, this has been so fun though. I like that it's been making me like actually read. That's a nice change. I don't know what I'm thinking of this. I don't know. Is it possible to get like, I'm just getting like secondhand embarrassment kind of. I am so sorry, but I don't think The Irresistible Urge to Fall for My Enemy is for me. I just don't, like, at the beginning the humor was kind of funny and I just feel like it's like kind of past that point of funny where it's just like kind of, it's just a little bit intense, I guess. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like it's past the point of like being funny and it's kind of just like silly. I don't know. I really don't know. I am about 70% through. I read a little bit of this on the train earlier when I was going into the city and then I just tried to read a little bit more and I just wasn't feeling it on the train. Since like, I'd say like the 40% mark, like the first like 30% I really enjoyed, but then the 40% I was just kind of like, oh, it's like, it's okay. I just feel like there's not heaps of plot and I kind of wanted a little bit more. I do like the whole like setting of it. I do like the whole world. One of my biggest goals for this year, which I've said a few times, was to DNF books I'm not enjoying and not force myself through them. And so I'm 70% through this one and I feel like I've given it a very good chance and I actually think I might DNF it. I might come back to it in a few days, but for now I think I'm going to DNF it, which I am so sorry. I feel so bad. I actually feel so awful when I DNF things. Like I feel, It's not fun. I hate the feeling. But I really want to focus on The Night and the Moth because I am really enjoying this, and I feel like I've only read another 10 pages today, but I'm really loving this world, and I'm really loving this atmosphere and everything. I just want to focus my time on books that I'm really enjoying. Like, life's too short to be reading. Like, I'm forcing yourself through books that are just not for you, and reading is so subjective, and I feel like this also just may not be like the right time for me to be reading this. I don't know. But yeah, I think for this video at least we're gonna focus on The Night and the Moth. So we did finish our 30 minutes today. We was kind of on and off because it was like on the train a little bit and blah blah, but it's only like 3 p.m. now, so I am definitely gonna be reading more tonight, and I'm just so addicted to this. I don't think I'll finish it because we're at page 180 now, but I might try and finish it tomorrow morning and just update you guys then and like tell you my thoughts whilst I'm reading it, because I really want to finish this for you guys. I really do. I'm so excited to be reading this and excited about a new fantasy world. I love that feeling. This is also a gothic fantasy, which I like. One Dark Window, before that I had never read a gothic fantasy. One Dark Window introduced me to that, and like loved it so much, more than I expected to. I don't know whether that's just Rachel Gillig or I do just love that genre, but yeah. I'm so sorry for everyone who wanted me to read or finish The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy. I really wanted to enjoy it, but I think I just have to accept that not every book is like, reading is so subjective. I'm not gonna love every single book I read, and that's okay. That's okay, Freya. I have to keep telling myself that that's okay. I literally have 50 pages left of this. I'm so excited. As I'm sure you just saw, I just finished The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, and I actually think I have a new favorite fantasy book. This was everything I could have asked for in The Night and the Moth. I went in with the expectation that this was going to be good, but I didn't go in with a particular like plot expectation or romance expectation or anything like that. I just went in purely thinking that this was going to be good because I know Rachel Gillig and I know her writing and I know the way she creates characters is wonderful. But to be honest, it's exceeded my expectations. I just love the world she created. It was so unique and it was so different to anything I've read before, and whenever I find that in a fantasy book, that is something I hold on to. That is something I do not let go of because that is such a rare find. Like, set in a world of divination, that's wonderful. I love that. I really truly do. I feel like she absolutely aced this. I thought this was everything I could have asked for. I'm tossing up between my ratings, so I don't know if I'll let you know now, but you will know in my wrap up. It's so fresh and I really just don't know what to think of it because I loved it so much, and I think she is an incredible writer. I cannot wait for you guys to read this and to hear your thoughts on it because I'm really truly so intrigued, and I'm really curious to know what you think of it. I do think this copy had a few little mistakes because it is an ARC copy. Like, there are a few little like grammatical errors and stuff like that. It was kind of annoying, but like apart from that, that's totally fine. Like, I know that I expect that kind of stuff when I'm reading an ARC. I know that. But apart from that, everything was so much fun. I really liked our characters. I feel like they really grew on me. I wasn't kind of sure about them at the beginning, and I feel like over time they really grew on me, and that's really fun as well. I love going into ARCs as well because you go in with absolutely no idea. Like, when you go into a new release, you can form your own opinions without having other people's opinions in the back of your mind, and I feel like that can often interfere with my experience reading it or my opinions on the book. But when it's like a new release, you can form your own opinions on it, and it's really refreshing. So yeah, I personally love this, and I think it is for a very particular type of reader. I really don't even have any notes. I might when I stop and start thinking about it again in a few days, but for now this was wonderful. I'll talk more about it in my wrap up, I guess. But yeah, I am very glad I did this challenge because it just has let me get through so many books on my TBR. All 3 books we read this video were on my TBR, which it was kind of easy because they were all books I was so excited to read. Yeah, I think that brings us to the end. Well, it does bring us to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you had fun reading with me. I certainly had a lot of fun. I hope you've been enjoying my reading vlogs. It is so great to have you guys here, and welcome to everyone who is new. I feel like we've had so many newcomers to my channel recently, and that makes me so happy. So welcome to everyone who is new. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I can't wait to see you in my next one, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, evening, morning, whatever you are watching this in. I love you all so much.